Welcome back to the Sharpshooters podcast. This is Raw is Retro, and I'm your host, Ross. And with me, as ever, is Lord Manny Hayes.
Yeah.
And joining us once again is Marcus, the Grand Finale.
Hey, the big stinky bear, the Kodak bear. If no one's using the Kodak bear to this day, I'm using it, and I'm ready. I got my fire extinguisher and everything. I'm ready to go.
It's got a
It's
new
time.
handle.
Or you could become the Polaroid bear.
Ooh, the Polaroid bear. I really want
the
that. Like,
panda
I'm
bear.
not. Both of us are practically extinct. Polaroids and polar bear are practically extinct. Curse you, America. Curse you.
We are here to talk about the episode of Raw from February the 2nd, 1998 from Indianapolis, Market Square Arena. Don't know where it is, in Indy somewhere. The show kicks off with the famous D-Generation X State of the Union address.
Yes.
One of their most famous skits, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep. It's well done. It still holds up to this day.
Holds up.
I wasn't expecting it at the start of the show, but when they were just talking about it, I was like, oh, this is great. And then I was like, oh, I'm probably going to hate this because it's probably going to be terrible this time. But no, they kept within the line. My favorite thing is every time Triple H said any racial or homosexual slurs, I was like, what the fuck is he going to say?
Yes. We cut to the arena, and we've got our hosts, JR, Michael Cole, and Kevin Kelly, as always, in the first hour. And we get another DX segment. The first hour of Raw is very, very DX heavy. This week.
Count the Outlaws being a part of DX. They had the whole first hour.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, the whole first hour, and then we get Billy Gunn to start the second hour. So yeah, with the Road Dogs, it's a very busy DX show. This one.
I feel like they were on COVID protocol. I know we're in 1998, but I feel like this was a skeleton crew.
Yeah, there were 6 men.
What was going on in '98? SARS?
No, that's still later. That's still later.
Mad cow disease, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Mad Cow made it to America.
Bill Clinton happened. Yeah. He
Ebola,
fucked off the roster.
Part 1.
Triple H come out. Triple H and DX and Shawn Michaels and all of them come out dressed as a couple of Uncle Sams. If I'm getting my references right.
It was.
Yeah, they talk about WrestleMania 14 and how Austin is going to fight Tyson, and Shawn doesn't really want to do anything with it. But I don't know. I'm quite enjoying Shawn trying to get out of this match. It's quite fun.
Yeah, it's good heel work. It's good heel work. Really. He knows he's going to get beat up. He knows what's going on. He knows what happens when someone wins the Rumble and the momentum they have. I don't want that, especially with my back.
Well, he doesn't know because he's I feel like he's one of the first few that won the Rumble and then didn't win the title. I think when he won in '95, he didn't actually win the title.
Oh, this is when he fought Diesel, right, or something?
Yeah. No, he won '95 and he won '95 and '96. So like the '96 one was the Boyhood Dream.
Yeah.
The Boyhood Dream is where he actually won it.
Yeah, it's '96, wasn't it? Yeah, WrestleMania 12. Yeah.
But I would have been happy being out there popping balloons like they were. And I may be a child and a simpleton, but that looks like a lot of fun, just popping balloons.
Yeah. Steve Austin comes out. He's not very happy. He's a very angry man a lot of the time. I mean, he is still a heel at this point, but he's not, is he? Like he's technically a heel, but definitely isn't actually a heel with the fans.
He has very heel tendencies.
Yeah,
but he is such a badass in which he just jumps in people's faces. Like Triple H and China are both in there. He's just all up in Sean's face.
Oh wait, isn't he a good guy? Isn't he kind of a good guy?
He's a face right now.
Because remember the pilot episodes we did. He was nice to a kid at Christmas and he beat up Santa Claus.
Yeah, he saved the kids from Santa. I suppose the turn came with Brett,
ever since the 13. Ever since WrestleMania 13 when he was bleeding out. The double turn, which was probably the most brilliant double turn ever and the first of its kind. And no one's seen a better one since.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is great.
We cut from that segment to a hardcore match between Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. Because why not? Guys want to have a fight, don't they?
Well, this thing has been escalating since, Chainsaw Charlie decided to come out of a box with a chainsaw. And then, weeks on and weeks out, in between Mick Foley and Chainsaw Charlie fighting each other.
But they had another backstage segment. This time they were in the stands with JR.
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about. They were talking about, Mick Foley was like, I'm 32, man. I need to make a mark in the world. And I'm going like, I'm 37 right now, Mick. You look like shit. I don't know what was going on in '98, but I feel like everybody in the '90s, whether you're in the NBA or NFL, everybody looked like they were in their 50s almost. So I was like, you guys are old.
Old
What
men.
the hell?
Yeah,
Jeans
Patrick
are getting
Ewing
better.
was never 20. He was always 45.
Yeah, he only looked 45, and his knees were 112.
They come back to the ring, and Chainsaw Charlie's already in the ring because his music's awful. Because it's just a sound of a fucking chainsaw going off. Cactus brings a dumpster out, foreshadowing.
As soon as it came out, I went, "Oh, this is it! This is it! They're going off that stage, boy."
Yeah, this is the moment.
But I was telling Marcus that like we were talking about Sting on AEW like 2 weeks ago, and I likened this to this moment of going off the stage, like old people going off the stage and doing weird shit like that. Yeah. I didn't think it was this soon. I thought this was a lot closer to WrestleMania because there was a dumpster match at WrestleMania, and I thought it was a lot closer to it. But I didn't think it was going to come up this quickly.
So this is the 2nd of February. WrestleMania is not until the 29th of March, as we know, because Don King told us
March 29.
Sorry, 29 March. Yeah, March 29.
8 weeks away. March 29.
Call your local cable providers. March 29.
There's another pay-per-view in between them getting to that dumpster match.
Yeah, and so as this match is happening with Mick and Terry Funk, and they're throwing stuff at each other, and Mick eventually jumps into that dumpster with that elbow, which I thought was the more dangerous spot because I would have been afraid to hit my head or something like, oh shit, I shorted it.
I would have missed the dumpster. I think I would have missed the dumpster, hit the edge, and fallen off.
Yeah. And the Tron seemed so flimsy too. Like it seemed very flimsy while Mick was walking on there, and I was like, that's where I would have fucked up and died. Like it wouldn't have been to the next spot. I wouldn't have got to the second spot when we found the dumpster. They would have been real concerned of what was Marcus doing up there, and was that him jumping, or was that just him falling in style and dying?
I do like when Cactus hits the elbow, the little styrofoam peanuts just fly out of it. Nice soft landing for him in there. As soon as that happens, the Outlaws appear, don't they, and tie those idiots inside the dumpster.
Yeah, like a really silent villains, like
creeping out.
Sneak. I imagine it as a kid, how you watch the old cereal cartoons. I don't know if anybody's old enough to see that. And you see the villain show up, and he's like, and they play the dark music, dun 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 dun, and then he looks at the camera, ha 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 ha.
Walking in with high knees and shit.
Yeah, that's a show, though.
They just needed some mustaches that they could twiddle before they got them.
And this is when wrestling goes too far. And they show people.
This was perfect.
I was absolutely fuming at this. They tie the lids shut, as we all know, it's one of the most famous spots in wrestling, and they just run the dumpster off the side of the stage and onto the floor.
Yes, as reckless as it was a catering / coffee table there that landed on top of, and these aren't your breakaway tables now. This was just a random plastic table. I'm assuming they helped break the fall, maybe?
I just want to point out that wasn't that high of a drop.
No.
It was 10 feet. It was 10 feet.
No, it wasn't.
Zack Ryder's wheelchair fell further and faster.
See, what stopped it from being as far was those two tables that were there. So it made it look like it's not as far of a drop. But when they take the tables away and the dumpster's still kind of just sitting there, you're like, man, I wouldn't do it. Because this is something that, a few years later, Jackass seemed to probably do on every episode. When it's like, deal. I'm Mick Foley and welcome to Jackass. This is Dumpster Coaster. Down.
I want to see Johnny Knoxville do this at a Rumble.
Yeah. But this spot is still perfect and it's still classic. And I think what worked for me the most was the wrestlers coming out the back, all the management, the referees, the EMTs.
Like Vince telling the Outlaws off, basically, disciplining them on the stage.
What are you doing? And it's serious Vince voice, not like, what are you doing? Damn it. It says, you cannot. It's like full corporate Vince. That's what I imagine him talking about. You cannot do stuff like this. They're a 60-year-old man. As JR said, there are people in there. There are people in there.
Can we also point out the first responders, Mark Mero and Flash Funk?
Yes.
I'm surprised Tom Brandy wasn't chasing Mark Mero out there. Just to
Flash
try
Funk
fight him
was
again.
pissed.
Yeah.
He wanted him some Billy Gunn.
He did. I liked Sonny's acting. Her hysterical, kneel down, crying. Yeah.
I don't know when did she start caring for Terry Funk so much, but that was it. They were like, they killed Mick and Terry. No, they couldn't carry her away. And she was like a distressed mom at a funeral. Like, no, I just watched my dad die. That's kind of what it looked like. She reminded me of Bruce Wayne watching his parents die in the alley and Batman. Like, oh, God damn it. I am vengeance now.
This is the second time in a month you've brought up this reference of Bruce Wayne's parents.
Damn. Well, you know, I keep thinking, you know, the Batman is coming out very soon. And, you know, I'm in full Batman mode. And I bring it up on a daily basis. It's either Batman's parents or Uncle Ben. Someone can guide. I got to talk about it. I can't
hear people say Uncle Ben without thinking of the Rice Man. But I don't know.
I'm shocked no one has done that random parody.
You mean the leader, the owner, the CEO of the World Breakfast Federation, Ross?
He's just a commissioner, Manny. He's just a commissioner.
Well, who's the owner? Me and you.
Yeah, we're the owners. We're the owners. I'm Vince McMuffin. It's me all alone. Anyway, I enjoyed the acting from everybody on the parts. I enjoyed the mini brawl, but that we need to get our hands on the Outlaws because they're out of control. And they went with the entire first hour of just selling that these two men are dead.
Yeah, that's it. We're never seeing Terry Funk again.
Oh, you hear him go, my back. I'm so used to him yelling, my eye, my eye. And then they full on zoom in on the hand shaking.
The seizure.
Great.
By the way, as he's doing all of this, Mick is just still, and Mick is dead.
Yeah, Mick has died. That's it. We're never going to see Cactus Jack again.
Terry Funk's going through multiple seizures and screaming my back and in and out of kind. Mick Foley's just going to lay here.
Man, if Foley's 32 at this point, this has just dawned on me. He's only 34 at the Rumble 2000 with Triple H.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
insane.
That is a hard life that man's gone through.
The wear and tear on his body, he probably felt like he was 44 or 50. Because he was talking about age before this match. And talking about, I'm 32 and I haven't made a mark on this business yet. And I'm like, Mick, you've made a mark.
At this point.
Has he fallen off the sale already? He already went off the sale. No, he hasn't went off the sale yet, right?
That's this year, isn't it? Is that?
Is that 98? Yeah, I believe that's King of the Ring 98 or something, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was 97.
Wasn't that King of the Ring 98? No, it is. Yeah, it's this year. You still got that to come.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, no wonder he was so fucked up in 2000 then.
Yes.
I mean, he put himself through hell, and he kept pushing the envelope. And this is the ticket that he came in. This was not a nice fall, though. I feel like this would have hurt like hell. I don't know what they did. I know they had all the foam things in there and stuff.
Yeah, they're not going to help, are they? He's still falling.
It seems like you're still boom. We're going to hit your head on something and be out of it. But this was the first hour of Raw. No Tyson Austin this week. This was we just killed two people, and we're gonna update you on their death and ride to the hospital.
I like their interview backstage. The Outlaws have an interview.
We
with
got
Jim
families
Ross.
Too.
Yeah, really good. Like it's the first proper bit of like serious talking from them that they've done. They're all just joking around, pissing around normally, but I really liked it. I like when DX come back as well and gives them advice and say if it wasn't them, it would have been you.
Yeah, they're pushing the envelope. It's for the ratings. It's for the ratings. Everybody's going crazy this day. This is what Vince wanted. This is what they hound me over every day. Push the envelope. Push the envelope. That's what you did. It would have been you. It could have been you in that dumpster, but instead you lived the glory, and now you got to figure out what you're gonna do next. Next. I'm like, I just killed two people. You want me to think about what I did next? Jesus. Sound like a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, next up, Billy Gunn gets a match against Owen Hart for the European title. That seemingly out of nowhere that Owens only has for a week. I don't know where this came from. Why is this happening?
Because Owen needs to feud with everyone.
True.
Because we need to see Billy Gunn for at least 2 hours of this show. Like, it seems like we just had this whole segment of them killing 2 people, and then it's like, oh yeah, you also have a European Championship match right after this. You're literally the next match. Oh yeah, you're right. And what do? He tries to kill again. I almost died. I'm like, oh shit, they're going for another one. They're taking bodies. Can we get the Outlaws off TV? They're going too far. Because like Road Dogg still had a match later with Austin. I assumed he was bringing a knife to that one. At the rate they were going.
Oh, you didn't know?
Your ass better call somebody. Shoot Gusney.
Yeah, DQ finish, obviously, because it's Raw. DX get down to the ring, and it becomes a 5-on-1 mauling as they beat up Owen. Triple H DDTs Owen.
Even China got some. Dirty kick on him.
That dirty kick to the ribs hurt more than any of those punches.
So Sean is like coaching the Outlaws, isn't he, on how to get over in the WWF. I quite like that.
Yeah, you want to get over, you want to be a star, you gotta push the envelope. You already killed
cocaine with me in the back, and you take all the painkillers you want, and you drink with alcohol.
The Outlaws, I mean, it's just like Sean. We killed 2 old men today. 2 old men. Yeah, I gotta kill Owen Hart too. Yeah, kill Owen too. Kill the European champion tonight.
Get rid of all the hearts. We get all the hearts.
All right. If you were Owen Hart, what are you thinking when 2 grown men are swinging you? Like, like, why is this happening?
Someone get the Bischoff's number quickly.
Like, it's just swinging me back and forth. Like, this is who I am now. Just 2 grown men swinging me, rocking.
I don't need this shit. I can end on the NWO. An easy life.
And the entire time I thought Austin was gonna make the save here, but he doesn't give a fuck about no Owen.
Nope. It's all about himself.
Fucking Hart. Yeah. He's so selfish.
Michael Cole went to the hospital with Cactus and Chainsaw. He's got no information. Like, he called into the show to tell us he's got no new information.
He called from Baghdad. That's how bad that line was.
On his satellite phone.
I don't know whose phone he was using at the time, but he had no information from it. I like to think that he kept running outside to a payphone. Like, he was like, hey, guys, this is wrong.
It's almost like, oh, we're breaking up.
And the Taliban are on their way. The insurgents are coming at me one by one, and they're bullets coming over my head. Like, where were you? What is going on with you?
Yeah. How far is his hospital?
But I appreciate it. I'm sure the audience didn't hear any of this, and they just kept cutting to JR and King, who just were only making expressions like this. Like, fuck, damn. Like, oh, they must have killed these guys. But I enjoyed Michael Cole was the journalist. He left his spot at the table to travel to not a medical facility as we go to now.
Yeah, no, they actually went to the hospital. Yeah.
They went to the hospital.
Which makes me think these medical facilities I go to is like the NFL blue tents. You just drive into one of them for a minute or two.
I think it suddenly started when Austin and McMahon started going to hospitals. They started calling hospitals, so they needed to start going medical facilities because idiots would ring the nearby hospitals.
Yeah, it was a combination of this and WCW, where people were at this time were calling real authorities on situations. Like WCW, the NWO would invade, and people are calling the police. Like, what the hell's going on over there? I just saw Rey Mysterio go through a trailer and Macho Man swinging off cars and shit. And WWE, I saw 2 people die. Like, this had people invested. Kayfabe was legit. People were going like, I need to call the police. Am I the only one who's going to call the police around here? This is getting out of control.
No one else seems to care.
Yeah, let me check in on Chainsaw Charlie and Mick Foley. I'm calling every hospital in Indianapolis to find them.
Our next match is Headbanger Mosh with Thrasher taking on Mark Morrow with Sable. Morrow goes through all the usual stuff. How he's sick of Sable, stealing his spotlight, and she has a heart-shaped box of chocolates that Morrow doesn't particularly care for.
Who were they from? Tom Brandy?
Definitely Tom Brandy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you this.
Young Brock Lesnar.
Young Brock Lesnar in middle school. You know what would be sweet, Mom, if I could send these mini chocolates to this lady. Please Marcus's voice has never grew out of that, by the way. It's the same voice from when he was a kid. I think Sable was out of line in her outfit. Although she gets the biggest reaction of anybody. It's like the thirstiest building I've ever seen men in my life. In 1988, women just you would think that women were like nuns or walking around in like turbans, that they would never show any skin. The way the men in this building reacted to Sable coming out, it was just like, yeah, she's okay, it's all right. I'm not gonna get on my feet and be like, respect that.
Could you imagine the men of that era on Instagram now? They would be ruined.
Yeah. Comments. Jesus.
Thirst trap everywhere. And that's coming from Thirst Trapper Jones.
I kind of get Mero's point. Like, come on, love. Like, I'm supposed to be the wrestler. He was my valet.
Yeah, this is really distracting. That you're out here, your titties are jiggling everywhere. Who are you showing them titties for? Those are my titties. I pay for them titties. Those are Johnny B. Bad titties.
He calls her fat at one point, so she needs to get back on the Stairmaster. Which, I mean, she definitely isn't fat. Goldust appears. This week dressed as Marilyn Manson. Well, kind of like Marilyn Manson. It looks like one of the headbangers, to be honest.
Something like a Marilyn Manson. Yeah. He looked more like a member of the Demolition, like Crush and Demolition than he did. Which tells me Crush had a bad gimmick all these years.
This match goes for 2 minutes. Mero wins. Someone actually gets the 3 count on Raw.
Longer.
Yeah, the whole segment was about 15 minutes, but the actual match was 2. JR's fuming at Mero and Goldust, and he says they deserve one another because they're both so insecure and starved for attention.
Yeah, this isn't about sexuality, folks, as JR put. This is about a man craving attention. He's been in the shadow of his daddy for years, and will be in the shadow of his younger brother, who isn't probably even born yet.
JR's a very angry man at this time. You didn't realise that back in the day.
But you know what? He had good reason. Although he does yell Tope, Suicidas for El Pantero the previous week. And now he's all upset with Excalibur for doing it today. You started this, JR. You started this.
We get an NWA segment next, boys.
Yes. Hold on. I was going to sip my water, but these are my favorite guys in the group. We now have Barry Windham with blonde hair. Back to 4 Horsemen Barry Windham and Bradshaw. Need to find him a partner. He's going to get fucked up by these NWA, these N-words with attitudes.
We get a split screen for the NWA and Bradshaw. I mean, come on.
I enjoyed it. Bradshaw seemed to bring it. And I told Manny this before we started recording. I would have probably pushed Bradshaw back in the day. I would have figured out something to do with it. I thought his promo was believable. He was just a big, mean Texan. He reminded me of Stan Henson. And I wasn't even alive for the prime of Stan Henson. But it just seemed like he was ready to kick some ass, and he had no partner. That's what it was.
I mean, I do appreciate Bradshaw now a bit more. Like that JBL run was really good, but we forget that how good it actually was. Like he played the heel perfectly in that whole time, and then everything he's kind of done, he's done well, except Ministry Acolyte. Even though he was he was a minion, but
zombie or something.
He still did it well.
Yeah. So the Ministry comes. I was researching when the Ministry comes into effect. So kind of late '98, early '99. So Bradshaw is just going to kind of float through this year, not really doing anything.
Well,
until he gets picked up.
Yeah, I thought they were going to forget all about Bradshaw after Barry Windham turned on him, because they didn't bring him up in the previous week, and I was like, oh, well, I guess that was the end of Bradshaw.
Well, Marcus, they had a lot to fill. They had a lot to fill last week with March 29.
March 29.
WrestleMania, Tyson Austin. March 29.
Sorry, I'm so confused. I'm reading this Wikipedia page. I shouldn't be doing it right now. But Bradshaw and Farouk formed the Acolytes, a darker brooding tag team briefly managed by the Jackal. What?
Yep.
When the fuck did that happen?
The Jackal needs to do things. The Jackal needs to do. Remember, the Jackal is a very big part of this '98 Raw.
Don Callis is the Jackal, isn't he?
Yep, he's the Jackal. He's the network. He was in WCW. He was Cyrus. He just showed up everywhere. Just everywhere, playing the same character, and none of it actually worked until he became Don Callis.
Jesus.
The guy that wears rose-colored glasses.
So we don't get the Outlaws until December the 13th, and we don't get Midian until December the 28th. We've got a whole year to wait before the Ministry appear.
Damn.
Wow.
And how good is it going to be? Because there's a lot of payoffs in that.
There is.
Yep.
We get a video package for Tiger Ali Singh. Remember Tiger Ali Singh?
Yes. Yes.
We formed the original 3MB with Dio Brown and Mosh.
Yeah. So Manny, explain to me the love for Tiger Ali Singh because
he was so useless.
Two girl fucks about Tiger Ali Singh.
Because he was so useless, but that was one of the things that brought my dad in to watch wrestling with me because he loved this man. Like he was like he's representing Pakistan, all this stuff, and I was just like, Daddy, trash.
He's Canadian as well, Tiger Ali Singh.
I feel like the WWE has done this gimmick so many times for every different race and person. This was the Pakistan edition of Alberto Del Rio, essentially, and Jinder, the Indian version of Jinder, or the Pakistan edition of Jinder Mahal. We've done this gimmick so many times. I was like, I'm going to be proud of my father, and I believe he may have been a face. Was he a face of this video package? I'm not even sure.
Yeah. No, I think he was that smug rich guy thing again.
Oh yeah, Del Rio. Okay. Yeah, let's say.
Yeah, basically Del Rio. But
his last match was in 2014. Where he and Rhino had a match which ended in a no contest.
I'll be the hater to hate to have to pay to see that. I paid to see Rhino and Tiger Ali Singh. I paid to see this. At least you can do is give me a bit.
Yeah.
You can do.
We get the next match is Farouk with his nation because he's the leader, obviously, and Chains from DOA with Ahmed and Ken because. One can't go without the other, apparently, anymore. No.
Every week we got to get this gang warfare.
It's literally just a promo for the pay-per-view, isn't it? This is all this is.
You were the pay-per-views in November.
Yeah.
We are nearly, we're in February and the pay-per-view is in November.
Such a long run. This
is the problem with all these factions that going on. It's just they just all thrown together and then we got all these random DQ finishes.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Farouk got counted out because Khan was a fucking idiot, basically. Yeah. Is how this match ended.
What the fuck you tripped my leg for? What you doing, brother?
Couldn't tell the difference between Farouk and Chains. So he did.
Yeah. One black, one white. One's a biker, one's a black Muslim. I'm basically your daddy. That's how you mix this up. You mix up your daddy with some random man on the street. And he had to lecture him for like 10 minutes and just was like, you know what? I don't care about the money. I don't care about this count out. I don't care about this match. Let's get out of here. And Chains celebrated like he won. Farouk gave him that victory. I mean, the funny thing is,
it's charity.
The Rock was so minimal in this segment. Like for the past 2 weeks, he's just kind of just been there, and he was the one breaking up the fight, even though he is the one that breaks up the nation.
Yeah. Strange. Next we get another NWA segment, 2 NWA segments on one episode of Raw. Too many. We get Wyndham and Jeff Jarrett, that famous tag team, taking on Justin Hawk Bradshaw and Flash Funk.
That's what he got. That was your partner in the back. You couldn't find anybody. I know people were distraught about the Mick Foley situation, and Flash Funk seemed like a tough guy when he was trying to fight the Outlaws back there. But there has to be someone better for you, Bradshaw, because your partner was out in 1 minute.
He's from that famous Funk dynasty, isn't he? Flash Funk, the long lost son.
You're Flash Funk. You're Terry Funk's son, aren't you?
Yeah. Flash Funk is taken out and carted off, and it's 2-on-1, and yeah.
By the way, black people, white people, Flash Funk got 0 updates throughout the night.
They don't take his out anywhere. Just left
no
him
idea
backstage.
what's wrong with him. I don't think he ever wrestled again with WWE. Man, his career ended at that very moment. Like, fuck. He died, huh? Yep.
Yeah. I thought that's Bradshaw wins. He hits the clothesline from hell, or the lariat, as it's called at this point, on Jarrett for the win after 4 minutes. But then all the NWA boys jump in the ring and give him a beat in.
Did he win this, bro? Like they tried to jump him and he beat them all up. I thought he won, right? Or did they finally got the badge up?
He won the match, and then they all jumped on him after. Yeah,
did he beat them up? Oh no! Cornette hit him with the racket.
Yeah,
and
they kept talking about Bradshaw. But the reason that he left the NFL was for his knee injury. I mean, the reason he left the NFL was because no one wanted him. He got cut by the Rams, and that was it. He didn't have a team.
Yeah, but every athlete complains about if it wasn't for that one bum knee. But that bum knee didn't exist for 90% of that while you were undrafted and ended up on a team anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Barry Windham knew in the first place. He knew I could take out his leg. And Barry Windham's a son of a bitch. That'd be like my tag partner, like, oh yeah, I know Marcus has that, or Manny has that bum arm from, when he thought he was going to be the rookie of the year. But I continue to, Ross holds him down as I jump and do big splashes on the arm repeatedly. Because I know, you shouldn't have told me your secrets. Don't tell me your secrets. That'll be the office I bring. Big splash.
Back in the ring, we see Wink Collins. Anyone?
No.
Wink Collins is...
You know who this is!
Wink Collins was a longtime WWE employee who finally got released in 2020.
Fuck.
And who he was one of the directors of TV and merchandise sales.
Oh wow.
Yep.
He was played the host of the Nacho Man Huckster videos of '96 apparently.
Yep. He's and then he came out to gloat about the ticket sales of WrestleMania, which I think couldn't have been possible 90 seconds or whatever it was in modern days when you did paper. Everything was paper transactions.
Are you denying the power of Don King? This is what you're telling me. Don King is in his prime in this age, in this time period.
Yes. No, his prime was probably the Muhammad Ali days, which is Manila, Rubber in the Jungle. In those days, Tyson was the victory lap.
There was only 19,000 people at WrestleMania. Let's not forget. It's not like today where it's 150 million people, as Vince would have you believe.
Whatever they announced.
Yeah, whatever they decide on.
200,000 people here. 200,000 people. How did we get 200,000 people in here? I don't know.
200,000. You got to count the employees too.
Employees as well.
Yeah, pandemic.
People in there.
Wink gets choked by Kane, and then Vader comes out because he's going to stand up for the little guy. Yep. Vader challenges Kane to a match at No Way Out, but before he can, though, he plans to put Kane's fire out right now and hits him with a fire extinguisher.
Kane's weakness at the cards. Kane was invincible until this very moment, and then suddenly, I believe everybody at this moment said, "I think I got a chance."
Yeah. You get that fire seal. A fire type Pokemon, and just use the fire.
No. He did go the Pokemon route. Oh fuck, a water Pokemon. So I'm like, hey, what now? No. Paul Bear was like, my money. Fuck.
If they had Glacier, that would have been a feud, wouldn't it? Kane versus Glacier. Literally Scorpion versus Sub-Zero at this point.
That would have been great. Glacier came in and was like, Kane, I'm here to put your fire out. And he starts doing his full routine. And it was like, Glacier, do you actually have ice ability? No, I don't actually have ice ability. Oh, shit.
Kane, I'm only fighting you. You're fighting me in a swimming pool.
My start for every Kane match would be to just throw water in his face. And he's like, fuck, water burns.
Well, he's still only got one eye apparently at this point, so just poke him in the other one. You bound to win.
Yeah, and I remember Jim Ross even in this segment when he sprayed the fire extinguisher all over Kane, and he's like, he sprayed him in his good eye. Kane only has one eye. And I totally forgot about Kane only has one eye. And then Paul Bear like, nah, you don't want another beta right now. Not with that fire extinguisher. He'll fuck you up.
Can anyone explain to me what happens in the main event segment of this? Because it's just pure chaos. It's supposed to be Austin versus Road Dogg.
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
Road Dogg gets stunned after 32 seconds, and then just all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, this is 90s Raw, in which modern wrestling fans will not appreciate what we get today. in which we actually get a solid main event that goes at least 10 to 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Then you get a DQ. Then you get a DQ. At least you get something. Then you get a DQ. This was just like instant. This is your main event. This is what you've been waiting for. This is your guy. You get to see it for this many seconds and then chaos.
Yep.
Cole did a really bad job because Funk and Cactus are back.
Oh, well, we forgot to mention the update.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Police.
There's a disturbance.
There's a disturbance in the force. I haven't felt this from my own master.
Disturbance in the force.
This is my own master, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's been dead for years.
No. I'm bringing up. There's police.
Michael Cole.
I don't know what's going on. McMahon's here.
Yeah, that was the those two breaking out of the hospital, I suppose. Funk's found his chainsaw apparently as well.
Mm-hmm.
On the way back from the hospital somewhere.
I'm glad he was in his underwear too. It wasn't just pure ass cheeks under that robe. That gal, glad he was in those tight blues.
Yeah. All this is setting up for the main event of our next pay-per-view, which is Cactus Jack, Chainsaw Charlie, Owen Hart, and Steve Austin taking on the Outlaws, Savio Vega, and Triple H.
Why?
What a random main event that is.
Savio Vega.
Yeah. Do you know
how did he get in the main event picture?
Have a guess which titles are on the line at No Way Out. There are
European
7 matches.
Sure.
Light heavyweight championship.
Light heavyweight, yeah. European, no, because why would you?
Oh,
the NWA North American Heavyweight Championship is also on the line.
Yes.
Along with the light heavyweight. And that is it.
And they expect people to buy this?
What's
I
the
guess
point of
you
this
had
pay-per-view?
Austin, that's what it is.
Yeah. He got 150,000 buys No Way Out.
Why? Why? You fools in the 90s. Well, you know what? You got to consider the 90s. There was nothing better to do. We had no.
How much were pay-per-views back then? $60.
Porn was really hard to get on the internet at this point. You had like 6 hours to download. You put this pay-per-view on just to download one image of Sable in a bikini. Like, oh man, guys, within 1 hour.
And then you have to save it. Then you'd save it to a disc, and it would take up like.
I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna try and find out like how much money they made from this pay-per-view and stuff, because this is the first No Way Out, which is it's no coincidence, is it? It's NWO. The initials are there.
No, yes. Oh wow! I never put two together. I never did that.
Surely not a coincidence.
No, that's really clever on their part. I didn't realize they were doing that business. I'm really shocked that they didn't sell No Way Out and had the dumpster match at No Way Out, considering that they sold it perfectly with Terry Funk and Cactus Jack in a trash can, and they had No Way Out.
Yeah.
Oh no!
They could have sold itself.
El Pantera features on No Way Out.
It does.
Now, do we have any evidence of who El Pantera is? I would love for it to be like
the Wikipedia reads, who is best known under the ring name El Pantera, but has also worked as Pantera 2, El Manaya, America,
and El
Tanaka.
Pantera it is.
Yeah.
Oh, he was Tanaka. No, it's probably a different Tanaka.
He's Tanaka with all capital letters, like Walter used to be, or Kenta. Kenta, all capitals.
Yeah. Weird.
El Pantera.
But yeah, that was Raw. Here is your MVPs. This was a fucking chaotic episode.
The New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, it has to be, doesn't it? They were all over this show.
Or Flash Funk for being a first responder.
I'm going to disagree with all of you guys with the MVP. My MVP is Michael Cole for getting the scoop. Look away. He immediately went up there. No one else took the gall to go to the hospital to figure out what's going on. And he kept you on the edge of their seat and not knowing what was going on in that hospital, in which he gave us updates. And then Terry Funk is coming in and out of consciousness, but Mick Foley might be dead. That's the report. And then there's a disturbance in the force and his bad cell phone. I don't know where he got the cell phone. Probably was Vincent's. Give me your cell phone. Don't use your car phone or something.
Definitely had to put out Ariel on it.
Yeah.
Like Zach Morris's. I just imagine Cole using Zach Morris's from Saved by the Bell.
The battery is dying. What? The battery is dying.
What was your match of the night? Manny?
I think Mick Foley and Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, or as JR likes to call him, Terry Funk.
Terry Funk. Yeah, they had a good match. It went 8 minutes, which is the longest match we've seen on anything so far, apart from the Rumble. Like, this is the longest Raw match we've had.
Wow.
8
impressive.
minutes long. Yeah.
8 minutes. We gave you 8. All right. I'm going once again with the NWA having the match of the night. With Justin Hawk Bradshaw and maybe now deceased Flash Funk, who died in the match, and Bradshaw had to overcome all the odds and beat the entire NWA, only to have his knee destroyed later in the middle of the night.
I'm going for the Farouk versus James match because I love how inept the Nation of Domination are. I really didn't like them back in the day, but I'm actually loving them throughout this rewatch.
So I've got the card for No Way Out.
Yeah.
There's a Ahmed Johnson DOA versus the Nation of Domination in what they've called a war of attrition match.
Yeah. They don't know what war of attrition means because it's not a match. It's not a wrestling match.
So I can't wait to watch that.
Maybe they don't wrestle.
If none of you are free, I'm just going to watch this on stream by myself and be very disappointed.
Just have a little player in the bottom corner so everyone else can watch it with you on the stream. Because there's no way they're going to ping you for this and take it down because they don't give a fuck about this pay-per-view, do they?
I think they do. I think they do.
Somewhere Peacock is going, what the hell's this? You're going to stream No Way Out 98.
There's no way that Peacock have watched this through.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, I've got to watch it because it's the Godwins versus the Quebecers, and I may get that music.
They'll be in the ring.
If they're in the ring on a pay-per-view, I will be pissed.
That is the saddest. That is the saddest moment of history of pay-per-view. Like, damn, I'm in the ring.
We get a 13-minute match between the Headbangers and Goldust and Mark Murray. I mean, that's going to be an absolute classic for the ages, isn't it?
Well, the team of Goldust and Mark Merrill deserved to happen after, the shenanigans that's been going on.
They were made for each other, damn it.
And, maybe I'm just a respectable woman here. But Sable should have left Mark Merrill months ago, right? Like, what is going on with this relationship?
Come on.
One or the other. Something has to give. I guess
Tom Brownie's tried to save you.
Yeah, there's no kids involved. Just leave them.
Yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, that is it for this week's episode of Raw is Retro. You can find us at the Sharpshooters or at Sharpies Network on Twitter. You can find us all individually. Just check out the Sharpies Network. I tag everyone when the shows are live, so check those out. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Do all that sort of stuff. I'm sure there's a Facebook page. Buy our merch. It's linked down below.
Do it. It's all in the description.
This isn't ours, but it could be.
Yeah, we could very much rip that off.
I can really just rip this off. Anybody.
Everyone likes the Roy's Retro Show. Share it. Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
We will be back with another episode of Raw before we get to that incredible 1998 pay-per-view that is No Way Out of Texas in your house. So there.
Yes.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Hey, have a good night. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good night.
Michael Carl reporting.
Michael Carl reporting.